Hey guys, what's up? My name's Ines. I write kissing books, and today I'm going to show you how I set up an AMS ad for my books. I just got the covers for the entire series redone. So books 1, 2, and 3, as you can see, the dragon's reluctant sacrifice in that beautiful ruby red, the ambivalent sacrifice in that emerald green, and the willing sacrifice in uh, that white diamond. But that's not the fourth book was done, but it's not up anywhere just yet because I have to write it. But since I am writing this book, I need to start getting its earlier brothers selling. So they're so pretty. I just love looking at them. Okay, so to get to the AMS advertising platform, you go to advertising.amazon.com, or you can go straight from your KDP dashboard, click on the promote in your book, and then you can go straight there. But I have this bookmark, so I always come this way. The way that I work with my ads is I create portfolios, because if you just come to all campaigns, it's so stinking messy and everything is just out and about, and I can't stand that. So I create very organized if you haven't noticed. So I create a portfolio for each series. So this is the portfolio that I have for the Dragon series. And I had ads running when this series originally went live, and then I stopped because I wasn't sure if I was going to continue to write the series. But now I realize that I am. So I'm going to create a new campaign inside this portfolio. And I'm going to run sponsored product ad. With a sponsored product ad, you can input manually or have Amazon do it automatically for you, keywords. And these are the keywords that customers search when they're looking for a specific product, like a book, on Amazon. So I'm going to do a sponsored product ad. Whereas a lock screen ad, if you have a Kindle, and whenever that Kindle goes to rest or goes to sleep and you're about to power it on, you'll see an ad there, and that is the lock screen ad. So I'm a big namer, so this is going to be The Last Dragon. It's going to be a group ad, and I'm specifically testing author name keywords. And it's in the portfolio Dragons. I could change that if I had wanted to, but I want it to be in the Dragon portfolio. I don't set an end date. I come and I check on this stuff every day. So if something's not working, then I pause it, but I don't set an end date. Right now, I'm going to start with a budget of $5. Hopefully it works well and I can move that budget up. And I'm going to do manual targeting. You could come in and do automatic and let Amazon choose the keywords for you, but I'm a control freak and I know who I want, whose product pages I want this book to live on. There's two ways that books show up when you use an AMS ad. They show up in the search. So if you go in and you just randomly search for something using a keyword, it could be an author's name or a book title or shifter romance. You're going to come to the Amazon search page. And that's not what I want to do. I'll show you what I mean. So if I come and I do shifter romance, Amazon started to autofill for me, but then you can see this is some things that come up. And you see the first thing that come up, this is a high level ad. So Catherine is shelling out some money to get this particular real estate. But then you also see these sponsored product ads here with people who had that term shifter romance as part of their AMS ad. And then finally, and there's always two up in the top. And then you get to the more organic searches. Maybe these folks, Fate Mountain, maybe these folks had it in their keyword, which they do. You see small town bear, shifter, romance. It's one way to get there without having to pay for it. And these guys on and on, but somewhere in the middle, you're going to have more sponsored. Here we go. You have two more sponsored product ads here with people who are paying to whenever someone types in the word shifter romance, they're paying to have their book show up. And then you got some more organic, and then at the bottom you're going to have two more. Yeah, 1, 2 at the bottom, you have two more. The way that I think about AMS ads and my specific goals with where I want to be placed is I want to be placed on the product page. It's all fine and well to come onto the search page, but as a reader myself and the other readers that I've encountered in my personal life, we typically go search for books based upon what someone recommended. So I would come in here and I would search for a specific person. For example, I adore T.S. Joyce. So if someone told me, oh my gosh, T.S. Joyce has a new book out, I would come in here and search for T.S. Joyce if I didn't know the name of that particular book. But I'd come in and search for T.S. Joyce. And again, you've got your two sponsored ads going on here. But here's her new book. And these ones are wolf. She's written dragons as well. These are wolf books. So I come here to T.S. Joyce, and the real estate that I want to be on is right up in here. So this is my goal, to get on the first page of, if you can see this, 65 pages. I want to be on page 1 in this real estate right here. So even though I'm looking at T.S. Joyce and the buy button is right here, this real estate here, and this real estate here, and this real estate here, this is where I want to be, because in my mind, the reader that I'm looking for knows what they're looking for and is looking to come to this product page. So I want to be on the product page first and foremost, more than I want to be on the search page. So back to the AMS ad. That's why I'm going to do manual targeting, because I'm going to target T.S. Joyce. So I'm going to do fixed bids right now, because I'm control freak. So I'm going to put in a specific bid, and I don't want to pay any more than that. I'm not going to do custom text, because I want to do a particular type of standard ad, and that particular type of standard ad is a group ad. And when you do a group ad, because it's more than one book, you can't put text there. So this is going to be Last Dragons 1 to 3. I just need to put the books there. Add. And you could do product targeting, which I'm not going to do, but you could do product targeting where it's going to look for where this is going to fit best, like werewolf and shifter romance, fantasy romance. And then you can come and you can search for more. This is, again, I very specifically know where I want to be. So I'm going to do keyword targeting. And I'm also going to enter a custom bid of 30 cents. That's what the most that I'm willing to spend right now. 30 cents across all. They're a little tricky because they have these suggested bids, and look at how these suggested bids are for a lot of money. Like for me, oh, isn't that sweet? You're gonna want someone to pay 49 to 79 cents for my name. That's nice. For Dragon Shifter romance book, it's up to like $1.96. I'm not paying that much. So I don't follow the suggested bids. I learned recently that that suggested bid amount is not just based on books. It's based on if someone put in dragon, they might be looking for, like, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons game or card or a dragon necklace or a dragon sword, which is going to cost more than my $2.99 book. So that's why that's going to fluctuate so much. So I'm going to put in my own custom bids, and it's going to be 30. I'm going to enter a list of, and if you remember, I said specifically that this particular ad is going to be by author name. Let me show you how I came about finding those author names. So I'm going to come back to Amazon, and I can start here with T.S. Joyce, because I know she's written a lot of Dragon Shifter books, but right now she's on a wolf kick. So I'm going to put in her name, and then I'm going to come down. I could come down to the sponsored product ads, because the sponsored product ads, it's going to show who else thinks that their books are like T.S. Joyce's. And I need to know my genre in order to know if they're right or if they're wrong. The Hunt, I don't know much about that. Berserker Brides, I know Lee, and Lee writes books like T.S. Joyce. D. Fisher, I'm not sure of, so I could go and research that more, but I've already got my list. Ophelia Sexton, she writes steamy shifter books, and that's what I'm looking for. K.F. Breen does too, but these new books that she has, where she's doing these midlife crisis magic books, I don't want to target that particular subset of her books, so that's not going to. I'm not going to target her name in my list of authors, even though she is sitting here on this page, because I know that that's going to be a different type of reader than the one who necessarily wants the steamy romance. Ooh, yeah, I just made some money. Lily Archer, who I forgot to put on my list. Oh my gosh, how could I forget to put Lily Archer on my list? I'm so glad you guys are doing this with me because I would have forgotten her. She writes some steamy, steamy, steamy. So, and she's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna put her name there. Kristen, I didn't have your name either. Kristen Strassel, who is awesome. I'm gonna put her name there. Shannon Nair, same thing. Shannon writes some awesome books, but she's on this midlife, magical midlife kick right now too. And I don't want to target this book, even though look, she's got over 800 reviews because this is a really hot genre right now, really hot. But that's not. It's really focusing on a woman's journey in her 40s coming into magic, and that's not what my books are about. My books are 20 somethings meeting their match in a mate. So this is just going to be different. So I'm not going to go there. I've got Celia Lane, Charlene Hartnett. She is awesome. So I could keep going, but I want to just point to Charlene because she does a lot of dragon books. These are all dragons. So she is an awesome comp for me. Again, I skip over this books you may like because this is targeted on my past history. Here's more Catherine. Now this series, the Darkness series, this would be good. But I'm going to do an ad just focused on authors first, and then I'm going to do an ad just focused on titles. So I would come back and pick this up for when I do my title keywords, but I'm not going to use her name again for authors. Again, we've got Charlene, who is great. Look at this guy, Brindle Dragon Box series. I happen to know that this is more a Dragon Rider series, and it's not steamy. So this is not going to be one that I'm going to click onto because it's a bit more YA. And that is not my reader at all. And I know that just because, one, I know what these covers look like. But I could have clicked on here and done some more research. I'm not going to go in and do all of that. More Charlene. I'm going to stick away from MC romance because I'm specifically doing shifters. So this might not be the most relevant target. Some of these readers would probably cross over, but it's not going to be the most relevant because there's magic and paranormal going on in my books. So that's not going to be the best one for me. But and I've got a lot of these people, but I would just keep looking at these guys for more potential authors who would be similar to me. Again, I stay away from academy books. I stay away from urban fantasy books for this particular series. I stay away from reverse harem for this particular series because those readers are looking for a specific experience. In my book about dragon sacrifice in the modern day is not going to fulfill their desire. So I stay away. Yeah, and I've got a lot of these guys, and you're going to start to see a lot of repeats. I would typically go through all 91 of these pages, and then I'd come back if someone looked really similar to me, I'd click on them, and I would do the same thing again and go through all the sponsored. So I would go through the sponsored, and then I would also, I hate that Amazon has moved this down. Dang, they moved it all the way down to the bottom. Another gold mine is customers who bought this item also bought. This is oftentimes even more relevant than the sponsored product because this is proven. This is telling you that someone bought Charlene's book and then went on to buy these other books, which are right now are Charlene's books. But Amelia, I don't have her. Amelia Hartley, she's not on my list. Let me add her. Oh, and I also look at the reviews. If they've got like 4 or 5 reviews, I'm probably not going to target them. But if they've got a lot of reviews, I did not mean to go there, but I'm there. I'm going to target her. I still want to come back down to the also bots. So I've got a lot of this stuff. So I'm really happy with the big list that I have. So that's another way to find folks. A third way is to come to the product details in the middle of the page and look at the bestseller ranks. So paranormal werewolves and shifter romance, because my dragons are shifters. So I could come to the bestseller charts and you can see on the side, romance, paranormal, I can come to angels, but I'm not because that doesn't really equate to my books. Demons and Devils, maybe. Werewolves and Shifters are really the best for my books. So again, there's KF Brand. Again, this particular series, yeah, I would grab this title, but not just her name. And a lot of these folks I have. And this is also just really good research. This cover is gorgeous, but you can see it's because there's a whole bunch of wolves there. That's an indication that it's reverse harem, and which my book is not. So that's not going to be a good fit for me. Twice Bitten. Destroy. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my list, and I know that a lot of things. Oh, I forgot Laxmi. I'm forgetting my friends. That's the funny part. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, like I said, I'm pretty happy with my list. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to put my whole entire list in here. I'll speed this up as to not bore you. I do want to point out that as you start typing in, Amazon is going to make some suggestions. Because this is a testing ad, I'm not going to add these keywords. I'm very specifically looking at author names and which author names are going to perform the best for me so that I can then come back and start to build this list out with book titles and ASINs once I know who's going to work. And the last person I make sure to put in there is me, because you want to make sure you're targeting yourself. So I'm going to add all these keywords. Awesome sauce, awesome sauce. You see, they all took the 30 cents. My strategy is to go for people who are looking for bare-chested men with a shifter animal in the background. My strategy is to go for someone who likes the books by those specific authors whose books sound similar to mine. My third strategy is read through, because if I can get you to read that first book, then I know that by the time you get to the end and I put my little hooky ending there that introduces you to the next hero in the next book, I'm going to get you hooked to read that second book, which in the end of the second book ends the same way, where I introduce the third hero. So the hook of the second book will get you into the third book, and so on. It's like tapping the vein for a drug dealer or something. I know I am a book pusher. So I also know that with my books, like if I make a sale, I'm gonna make a $2 profit, and I put my my daily budget in here at $5 per day. So I need to sell about 3 books in order to make a profit. So again, if one person came in and bought all 3 books, I've made a profit. So that's my first goal, is to make a profit on this $5 a day ad. And once I'm making a profit on this $5 a day ad, my second goal is to, with this particular 3-book series, it's 3 books right now until I finish the fourth and then the fifth and then the sixth book, is to make $1,000 a month on this particular series. So I know to do that, I need to make about $30 a day, a little over $30 a day to make $1,000 a month. So that's about selling 10 books a day. So that's going to be my second goal once I can prove that this ad is actually profitable. So those are my goals. I will raise these bids if I see that a particular keyword is performing well for me, but I'm not going to do it until I see that it's performing well. And then the ones that are performing well, I'm going to take that particular author's name and I'm going to go and find her books that are relevant to this particular series. And then I'm going to make a separate ad with just those titles and ASINs, because again, my goal, my strategy is to get on the product page. I don't really care so much about coming up in the search. I want to be where I think my particular type of reader who knows what they're looking for, I want to be seeing where they are going to go looking. So those are my goals. I've set up this ad. It's got 231 keywords, which I'm really happy with. I'm going to let it run for a couple of weeks and see how it's doing, and then take a look and go from there. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I will let you know how this ad goes in the coming weeks. So stay tuned as I start to write more of the 4th book in this series, and I take you along with me. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.